Today we're speaking with Riki Ellison, chairman and founder of the Missile Defense Advocacy Alliance. What are the main differences between the U.S. and Israeli missile defense programs?
The biggest one, I think, is the strategic layer that we are in the United States are protecting ourselves from North Korea, where Israel doesn't have that capability for a long-range missile defense capable. And I also think the Iron Dome, which is at a lower level with your mortars and rockets, we don't face that threat in the United States, obviously. So those two systems are not similar at this point, but everything else in between is.
What is your opinion about the three-tier defense system, the Iron Dome, David's Sling, and then Arrow 2 and 3?
I think it's a great way for them to do that, to have a layered defense. You have to have that kind of capability to have zero leakage, absolutely zero leakage, which you will be threatened in this environment by chemical nuclear weapons at some point. So you need to have all four layers to make sure that there will be no leakage at all in there. You need all four. Right now you have, I think, you're working on that fourth layer because you don't have that yet. You're still working on that second layer a little bit because you've got the Patriots and you're moving in with a David Sling system that's going to replace those Patriots. Again, the United States is supporting you on the outside and has two big ships in the Mediterranean.
You mentioned zero leakage. Can you achieve zero leakage in missile defense?
If it's a salvos, you still can with a layered defense. You can still, and good queuing and discrimination efforts to know where those are going, you can certainly have a real good possibility with the salvo. If you do multiple salvos, that becomes another problem. But I think this is about changing the calculus of the person that's going to fire a strategic weapon into your country, and whether he can guarantee that's going to make it. He has to make that calculus. So that alone is having four layers makes him not sure, not confident, and the threshold of his pain now will go up, not just one or two missiles, he'll have to fire 50 or 100 missiles, and that's an all-out war, and that's preparation. And if that happens, you would be able to most likely see that, and your preemptive offensive capabilities would take that out. So I think it's very important for Israel to have zero leakage. I think the population would demand it to have zero leakage. And right now, and I think you as a country want to produce and control all the layers so you can have it under your independent control. So you're not there yet, but that's something I think we all support. We want you to have that.
There's a big debate in the U.S. and Israel. You had the ABL laser on a 747 and the Nautilus land-based laser system that was shut down. Do you still think that this idea is valid?
I certainly think it's valid. I think we're going to be moving into a directed energy fight in 2025 where cyber, anti-cyber, directed energy laser will be applied. So we have to keep up with that kind of capabilities. We're still trying to get the power generation down. We're trying to do the cooling. We're trying to do some applications with it that we haven't put the money or the investment into flush it out. But I think that will come. We're doing some. The U.S. is doing some on our ships for small boats and so forth. So it requires a big investment. It's the same way with missile defense when we did it in 1980.
In the past, there was an idea to use, in addition to other measures, a boost phase intercept system that will destroy the missile after it leaves the launcher. Is that still valid?
It's technically feasible, but the issue is, can you be operational feasible? Can you be circling inside the area 24/7 to know when that's going to happen? And applications with putting missiles on planes that can intercept missiles is one concept, but that's a very demanding of your resources that are limited that you're using for other things to be able to do that. I think there'll be more and more research going in. Certainly, if you can position lasers or you can position something close to that environment, but you're fringing that territory, where if you're going to fringe it, that's another story. So I think there is possibilities here in the future, especially in Israel, to have pre-boost positions because you're close enough to the threat to do it. But you're pretty effective with the Iron Dome and so forth with hitting it on the way down or halfway up instead of hitting it in the front.
Is that connected to a long-range UAV?
You can do the same thing, but the problem is you need some time to see where that missile is going, and you only need to attack the missile that's going to be targeted to your population you're going to defend. So it's not about hitting everything that comes up. It's about doing selective process, which requires discrimination and censoring capabilities that would be forward-based. It's a concept. I don't know. I think that we are good enough, you're good enough, not to have boost phase defense, to have zero leakage. I think that's where we're trying to head with Israel. But again, I'm an American citizen. Yeah. I'm just expressing my opinion on what my thoughts are on what would be appropriate.
Thank you for joining us.